We're going to be using the new transfers I got on Wednesday. I have the Positive Vibes collection, and we're going to be using Fierce and Dare to Begin. I'm going to use the zebra print and the Fierce, and I included examples here of how Club Couture used them in the catalog just to give you more ideas, because ideas are great. So if you can see, the Be Fierce today looks pretty cool. Let's see. So we've got, what was I going to say? So the Be Fierce today, it looks like they used the BE from Begin on the Dare to Begin transfer, and then today under the Make Today Yours. So that's kind of a cool idea. But we're going to be mixing some different things. But again, I just wanted to see those examples. Our catalog is the best idea book around. So if you're stuck, also go to the Club Couture Facebook page, the actual like corporate webpage. They post ideas on there all the time. Lots of fun stuff and different projects. So something to keep in mind. All right, real quick before we go any further, in case there's anyone new watching, what is Club Couture, you ask? It's high-end do-it-yourself home decor made super easy by using reusable silkscreen transfers. They can be used 8 to 12 times, guys, 8 to 12 times. So they're not a one and done, but they are like a sticker. So I'll give you tips as we do our video to let you know how to get the most use out of them. And then we use two different mediums. We have chalk paste and we have chalk ink. The paste goes on wet and dries hard. You can use it on almost any surface. That's what we're going to be using tonight. And on a lot of our surfaces, or surfaces you can buy at the store, if they're like a blackboard surface, not all blackboard surfaces are created equally, but on the Club Couture website, if you go to my site, you can actually sort by reusable surfaces. So if you mess up, they're perfect surfaces if you're just trying it out. There are some Try Me kits that use reusable surfaces, and that way, if something does go wrong, which it probably won't, you can erase it and start over. Or if you join the club and you have one of those reusable surfaces, you can have one surface, and every month when you get that new transfer, you can make a new design. The ink, on the other hand, is permanent, and you're going to use it on textiles. I've made pot holders. We're going to make tea towels coming up soon. I've made a t-shirt, some pillowcases, and then you can heat set those, and then they're safe to wash. What is Club Couture? It is our monthly subscription service, which gets you an exclusive B-size chalk transfer design, 3 coordinating paste singles in nice little packets, and instructions. Now, all of my customers get $6.95 flat rate shipping, which is pretty awesome considering some of our surfaces and things can get a little heavy. Some of the surfaces can get very large, but it doesn't matter. You're still going to pay $6.95 flat rate shipping. But as a club member, you're only paying $4.95, so that's $2 off your order total. And there's exclusive specials throughout the year. This month, when you are a club member, you can save 15% on our new kits. Now, the bummer here is that we're having shipping issues and there is only one kit currently available. And it is not the one shown there because I'm not sure why that one's not available. But let me hop on the site real quick and make sure that at least that one is available. And I'll screen share if I can. Okay, so the basics is available. Let's flip over real quick here. Screen share. Okay, so these are the kits that as a club member you would be able to save 15% on. Now, ink mats have been very difficult for us to get in. I believe they're coming in on, there's literally a cargo container that we're just like waiting our turn in line for it to get unloaded and then sent to our distribution center. So that is what the holdup is. Things are just backed up, unfortunately. Same thing, the new handled squeegee, that is supposed to be coming out on the 16th along with our Creamy Dreamy chalk paste. But the brand new, what is the word we used for it? Our new drying tool is not available yet. And then I'm not sure on here what's out of stock off the top of my head. But what we do have is this awesome Best Basics Chalk It Up kit. It has an awesome Sylvie board, a board and base, you get a pack of board erasers, a multi-tool, a squeegee, and a bright white chalk paste. Awesome set of stuff. Both reusable surfaces, perfect for when you're starting out. And these are the Try Me kits that I mentioned. So these two are on board and bases, the sun, sky, sea, and sand, and that this house was clean. So those would be great trial ones if you're new to this and want to give it a try. They are at a discounted rate as opposed to buying everything separately, so that's super awesome. They come with great colors, and that surface is reusable and can be used front or back. And if you get a transfer like this country kitchen that sits horizontally or landscape, you can actually turn the blackboard to face that way as well. So I know that's a lot of information, but moving on to this month's club transfer, the colors that come with it are Current Jam, Shimmer Gold, and Black Velvet. And they did this really cute design right here on an Odette surface, which is also reusable, but it's an inverse chalkboard. It's white with a black frame instead of black with a white frame. So super cool idea there. And here we are. So I painted this, but I did it very thin, almost like a stain, so you can still see the wood grain on it a little bit, but it's a pretty minty, tealy color. So I thought we're gonna put some zebra print on it, dry it off, and then we're gonna throw some Fierce on there in guava and make it pop. Nice bright color. So, first things first, we need to trim our transfer, and I've got my transfer trimmers right here. So this is a D-size transfer, and it has 3 pieces. So you can see these white lines are there, so you know where to cut your transfer. Transfer trimmers, while are not a necessity, they are nice and handy for a few reasons. Number one, they are coated, so they are less likely to get stuck. When you're cutting stickers and things, you know, sometimes it gets stuck on your scissors, tape, different things like that. This special coating helps with that. They also have a slightly longer edge than most scissors, so there's less moving you need to do of your scissors. And they're a nice, pretty chalk couture color, so they're also less likely to probably get up and walk away from your craft area, because who in your house is really going to want to grab this and walk off with it? Or you have a designated scissor for your chalk stuff, for your crafting. So lots of good reasons, but not necessary. So we already talked about this transfer. Also in the Positive Vibes collection, so these are considered stories, so they're all transfers that are meant to be used mixed together. So there's also animal print, nice little giraffe style going here. And then we have so there's an A, B, C, and D size transfers. I'll be using the A and the D. This is the C, it's called Go and Do. And we have our like cheetah leopard print spots. So this is a layered one. So this has the 1 and this has the 2, and they have the little guides for you to do it. And I do realize that this print probably is more appropriate to put the word Fierce on, and it would fit very nicely. But this is a bigger block, and I'm a little partial to the zebra print. It also has masks on here. So you could either do a color circle and put these words on them, or you could put this over the animal print to create a blank space to put your words over, if you were going to do that. So, cool stuff there. At some point we will do those. And now we're gonna fuzz because it is a painted surface. All right, so I've got my wax, which is almost empty, but it should be enough to do this. Smaller sign here. And we're just gonna wax on. So then we can wax off. Just gonna flip it over, find a clean spot. All right, so we waxed on, we wax off, and we're done with the wax. Okay. So, new transfer, but it also has lots of open spaces. So, we're going to anticipate there to begin zebra. All right, so we're going to fuzz our transfer just to make sure it's not too sticky, especially using it on a painted surface like this. Since I kind of use chalk paste, might be easier if I move that. But we don't want it to end up lifting our paint. And it is a sticker, so we just want to reduce our sticky. And we're going to hold on the sides because the transfer, if it stretches, will be more likely to stretch on the diagonal. So pulling from the corners is not a good idea. You want to do from your top or your bottom or your sides. Whoop. Flip back over. I think this is my first animal print transfer use ever making decor with animal print. I send the comments. I'm not a big animal print person, but I like this. I just need to realize that I can make it into my colors. That's the important part. I feel like this is kind of the most interesting spot, and I'm not sure that I want to end up covering it with the words. So I was trying to decide if I should try and at least put it to the side or move it in one direction or another. I think this might be kind of cool. And now I'm just going to smooth it out so I don't have air bubbles. And this is a lot of open space on this transfer, so you know what that means. You're going to use a lot of paste. I'm going to get out this small squeegee. Let me stir this for you. This is now almost the consistency of our ink. So it's nice and smooth and creamy. It's like sour cream. All right, now I'm just gonna add, and since this paste is a little thinner than before, we shouldn't need quite as much of it, and we don't need to press very hard. So we're just gonna lightly across our design. And I don't know if you can tell how nice and smoothly this is working compared to, you know, what it looks like in other videos or not, but wowza. Wowza, wowza, guys. Bananas. Bananas. All right, now I've got some picked up that I can add down here. I've got all the spots done, all my excess. Let me get the back out so I have somewhere to set it. And we peel. Nice and slowly. Oh man, look at, oh, seriously. Seriously. Are you seeing this? Oh, it's amazing. Okay, so that's the bottom, and that's the bottom. We're gonna set that aside. Look at it! How freaking cool is that? Okay, so with the new paste, you do want to peel slowly, and it gives nice crisp lines. We're gonna dry this off. So I know I mentioned Club Couture is getting this new tool in. And so what I have is a heat gun. It's made for like embossing and stuff. But the one that Chalk came out with in that beautiful teal color that I'm really gonna have to get is it's a drying tool. So it's gonna blow air, but it's not gonna get hot like this does. Which is great because that's good for your transfers, because blowing hot air near your transfers is not good. You can melt them. And when I'm done drying this, I'm gonna have to wait for it to come to room temperature, because it is also going to be hot. You don't want to stick your transfer on that. So I'm not quite sure that the design turned out quite as like that interesting spot. I don't know that I quite got on here all that well, so I think putting the word in the center is probably fine. The new paste also, like I said, takes a little longer to dry, so there is that. That was already on my finger. I don't know if all that was, though. Let's go ahead and get this put away. So we still want to follow a lot of the same rules with our paste, though. So our paste still, keep in mind, is rated, I don't know if that's quite the right word, but to last for 3 months. So if something happens with your chalk in less than that, let me know, let Chalk Couture know. Once you're over the 3-month mark, unfortunately, just because of the nature of chalk paste, it's not guaranteed any longer. But you still want to get those edges. Like I said, this won't dry as fast, but if you let paste stay on the edge like that, it will dry faster. So we still want to try and get that back in. We still are going to use distilled water all the time. We don't want to use regular water, especially if you're on like well water and you don't have filters and stuff, because you really don't want to be putting random microbes and things into your paste. It may mold. No one wants moldy paste, for sure. Let's see how our guava looks. Now this guava I've had since I signed up. It came in my welcome kit. So the state of this paste is all on me. But I'm going to continue using it because it works. It just isn't very pretty in the jar. But I feel like this on this is going to pop in such a cool and awesome way. I also had out Spring Zing, which was a color it was in the spring collection last year. So it's like a bright green, but I think with the teal, this will work a lot better. I was thinking like the raspberry would look really good, raspberry sorbet. I just don't have it. More of like a hot pink color, and I'm more of an orangey than a pink. But I think this looks pretty good, and this feels dry now. So we're gonna get our fuzzing cloth back out. And we're going to fuzz our fierce after we label it. This is because you can use them 8 to 12 times. And if you get a couple of transfers and you sit down in an afternoon to chalk, you're going to have a bunch of dirty chalk transfers, and you're going to have a bunch of backers sitting around. And it is so much easier to match them back up if they're labeled. And it prevents you from accidentally putting your transfer back on the wrong side of the backer, because the backers are shiny on one side, just like what you peel a sticker off of, and then it's like regular paper on the other side. You put your transfer back on that paper side, good luck. No one can probably help you. So this way, when you see the word, you know that that's the back, and you can put the other side down. Helpful tips and tricks. Okay. Ooh, it's a sticky one. We're gonna have to fuzz this one a couple times. And you kind of have to feel your transfers. There's no hard, fast rule. There are also, with some of the new transfers, they said some of them are like super sticky. So, or like if you get a new transfer and you pull it out of the package and it has a really strong chemical smell to it, which unfortunately is happening. They were trying to get them finished on time, and package them a little faster than they should have during the curing process. So all you need to do is leave that transfer sit for a day or two. It probably doesn't need to be that long. I'm just over guesstimating to be on the safe side. But if you just take it out of that original plastic sleeve, this guy with the instructions and stuff on it, and just let it sit out in the air, it will help with the stickiness and the smell will go away. But those are the transfers you need to watch out for being super sticky, because if they have that smell, they're probably going to be a super sticky transfer. And what I could do, and what I probably should do, is wax this again to help protect my white layer. That is the ideal process, suggested process, when you're layering. Does everyone do it? Definitely not. Does that alter the outcome sometimes? Definitely it can. So, if you don't want to have to redo your project and you want to be on the safe side, and this transfer is a little stickier, and I tend to be a person that pushes a little bit harder, I'm going to wax this because I've now made myself nervous. And I don't want to mess it up and have to do it over. So I'm going to show you the right way. We're going to bean this together. Just trying to find a somewhat clean spot on here. I really need more of this wax. And we just rub it on the same way, and it's just going to help create a protective layer for when we put our transfer down. It will also help give the paste something better to stick to, and it should peel cleaner. So we wax on, we find a new clean spot on our rag. That may have been the last one. This spot looks clean. And we wax off. Okay. What do you think? Should we leave it this way? Should we put it this way? Ooh, I kind of like it that way. And then I can put fierce off-center this way, because I think this looks cool down in the bottom corner like that. I'm glad I flipped that around. I think it looks cooler than this way. It speaks to me more. What do we think? Also, I'm wondering if you can tell this. I was looking at this board when I was painting it, and I'm pretty sure that they cut my boards crooked because it is definitely wider on one side than the other side. It's not drastic, but it is. Oh, this transfer is so sticky. Sticky, sticky. I need to put this through the wash at some point too. I think it'll pick up some lint while I have it in there. We're gonna put this over here, like so. Make sure there's no air bubbles, and you don't need to press super hard. I have been a bad example, and I usually mash that transfer on super hard, but I need to stop doing that because it's not good, and it's not necessary. I'm gonna use a little bit more paste on this because it is a drier, older paste. I'm going to use a mini squeegee this time. These come in packs of 12. And they're nice. They work great for all kinds of projects. It's a little smaller, easier to handle. But again, any excess paste, we just back into the jar for next time. And I definitely put way more on there than I needed to. And I am using a very, very light pressure right now. I'm using more pressure to move it to the side than I am to press it down, which I think is the important thing with the new paste, as well as with our ink, which is why I've had trouble inking in the past, because I wanted to use a downward forceful push as I pulled. Not necessary. All right, are we ready? Are we ready for the big reveal? that spot wanted to lift already. I'm just gonna do it slowly so I can see those spots that need a little extra attention. Look at that. I mean, when your fierce project looks fierce, you did something right, I think. You guys agree? Look at that! How cute! Do you love it? I love it. I love it. And I have guava on my finger. There we go. Our first project with our new transfers. Using the Positive Vibes Story Collection. Nice? You like it? So I hope that you have enjoyed this project. Ciao